Hey, welcome back to me being cheap. It's hot outside. I think it's over 100 degrees. I've been outside taking care of the birds and I am hot and sweaty. Anyhow, speaking of birds, I want to talk to you about chicken math. So, if you've been watching my channel for very long, you know that Michael and I got some meat bird hatching eggs not too long ago and we raised them in the incubator. Well, we butchered the chickens this past weekend, and I have put together a whiteboard, a dry erase board, talking about chicken math and is it worth it to raise your own chickens? Okay, so this was a learning experience for both of us. So, first, I'm going to talk about the eggs. So, I ordered them from a hatchery, they were hatching eggs, and based upon our previous hatch rate of our quail, we estimated that if we were lucky, we might get about half. So we ordered 2 dozen, which is a lot. But the meat birds that we ordered, they are the Cornish cross, and they are ready to harvest at 8 weeks. So you don't have to take care of them for a really long time. So the first 2 weeks they are in a brooder box, and then after that they're out in the pen for about 6 weeks. I live in town, so I really can't have a bunch of chickens running around. So I thought, okay, we'll do this as an experiment. Maybe we'll get 12. We can divide them between the two pens. Keep the pens cleaned really good. Nobody will notice. So we hatched those eggs out, and out of the 2 dozen, we only got 5. So I'm not sure if they're hard to hatch or if our incubator wasn't working right, but we only got 5. So I am going to base the figures off of 5 eggs. Now the eggs were 90 cents a piece. I've actually gone online because I was going to confirm those prices, and they've actually raised the prices a bit. So now they're $1.10. But when I did this, they were 90 cents a piece. Now I did pay for 2 dozen plus the shipping. Now the shipping on the second dozen wasn't that much more, and that's why I went ahead and ordered the second dozen. But we are only going to count the price of 5 chickens. Okay, so let me get my whiteboard and I will walk you through this. Chicken math. So we have the eggs, 90 cents a piece times 5, that's $4.50. Now, the chick feed, that's the medicated starter feed, that's a 10-pound bag. I'll mark that over there, 10 pounds. According to Orscheln's online price, it was $8.49. I think I paid a little bit less than that. So this is going to be the maximum amount it cost us, but I'm pretty sure I got that for a lot cheaper. They went through 2 bags of chicken feed, 40-pound bags after that, and the online price for the meat bird feed, that's the high feed with 22% protein, that price was $15.99 a bag times 2. So about $31.98, and that was for 80 pounds of feed. Now I know I got that cheaper because I know I was watching for the sale and I picked it up. I want to say I got that for about $12 a bag. So anyway, I didn't save my receipt, so I can't give you the accurate picture. So this is the most it cost. Okay, so if we add that up, we have a total of $44.97. That's the money we have invested. Now, I know this was an experiment and we paid for 24 eggs plus the shipping, and then you've got your incubator, but we already had that. And I actually watched my electric bill when I was hatching out those quail, and I really didn't notice the bill jump up that much. So I don't know. I cannot tell you how much the power was for that, but it doesn't seem to affect the bill. I watched them when I hatched the quail, watched them when I hatched these chickens. I've just recently hatched another batch of quail, and I I haven't really noticed any difference on the incubator. So this is just the raw cost. Okay. Now, get over here to the side. The total harvest weight was, can't read backwards, 22 pounds. Yeah, just right at about 22 pounds. And so if we divide the 22 into the 44.97, that comes out to $2.04 a pound. Now, I really think on our end, because I paid a little less for the feed, pretty sure it was cheaper. So, that's what it comes out to. Now, I can tell you that at the store, our Kroger affiliate right now for a whole chicken has the price at $1.19 a pound. But we don't know the conditions that the chicken was raised in. But I'll just leave it at that. So, is it worth it to raise your own chickens for meat? And the answer for us is maybe. And the reason why is I think if you were to set this up on a larger scale and be more efficient with it, I think it would pay off. We butchered the birds, or we dispatched them, I guess you would say. But the bottleneck in the processing was plucking it. We did not have a plucker. And I think if you had a large amount of birds and could do an assembly line and have a plucker, whether you borrow it or rent it, and use a plucker, that would make it more efficient. But I will tell you that we probably will not be raising these meat birds again, and I have a couple reasons why. We would always have to either buy chicks, like live chicks, or the eggs, because I live in town. I cannot have roosters, so I have no way to get my own fertilized eggs. The other thing is that these chickens, they were pretty nasty. I like to keep things nice and clean, and these chickens, because the Cornish cross they're designed to put on weight, they don't move around, and they literally lay in their own feces. So most chickens, they're up walking around, they're scratching the ground, they're pecking. These guys would not even eat scraps, which I like to have my chickens to take care of my food scraps, vegetable trimmings and what have you. These guys were laid down like they were chilling at the beach, and they would just lay down like this and eat. They would lay down and drink. They were the laziest things I had ever seen. And because they're so big, they were pretty hot. And of course, it's been hot out here, and they always had access to water. But then they would lay down and put their bellies on the ground, and they laid in their own excrement, and they were just dirty chickens. And it's like I could look over at my egg birds, and they're so pretty, so clean, and they took care of themselves. They, would take a dust bath, preen their feathers. But these guys, they were just gross. So, given that I cannot have very many chickens because I live in town, I don't think that we will be doing this unless it's at some point I move out to a farm and can have a large amount. Maybe order the live chicks and get them at a discount. Order the feed in bulk and use a plucker. So I can tell you, it was myself and Michael, and then we had the help of 3 kids on and off. They helped some with the dispatching, helped some with the plucking on and off. But it took several hours, and this was 5 chickens. So it's hard to put a price on your time. We enjoy the homesteading type of thing, so that could be considered a hobby. Although cleaning chickens is not fun, it is nice to produce your own food. And I can say that for $2.04 a pound, raising your own chickens, that's a decent price considering how the animal was treated, how it was raised, the environment it was kept in. My birds were never crowded. They had a very large pen. They just happened to be very lazy and were very dirty. So that's my thought on the subject. I'm already hatching out my third batch of quail. I've got quail in the brooder box, and I think we are going to continue to do that. That seems to be pretty easy, pretty worth it. I was going through a lot of feed with the quail, but then we built a feeder where they can't waste it, and our feed consumption has gone down considerably. All right, here is my video on chicken math, and I hope you enjoyed it. And if you are considering raising the chickens, I can tell you that for 5 chickens, they use 90 pounds of feed. I did not do the math on that one, so five chickens into 90 pounds, that tells you about how much feed you'll have to feed them from the time they're born until they're about 8 weeks old and they're fully grown. They are very efficient at putting on the weight, and I think it's purely due to their laziness. They just lay there and eat. All right, thanks for watching. Have a great day.